Hey, how we doing, Justin? Yeah, just a little check-in. So I'm up at the RSPB headquarters up at Sandy Lodge up in Bedfordshire, and it's a place that I come to quite a lot. It's a great place, and it's quite a big estate, and I absolutely love it up here. So to give you a quick little panorama. There you go. What a great little place. So yeah, I'm up here today, and I'm just set up in my lavoo, half lavoo set up, and yeah, just kind of got to thinking about what it is I want to sort of achieve next year. Well, not so much achieve, but learn, practice, gain knowledge from. You know, I've got quite a good knowledge of wild camping and bushcraft and that. It's something that I've been doing for years and years, but I really do believe that you can never have enough knowledge. And that's one of the great things about bushcraft, especially. So I'm just going to pop that down there, and just got my lunch cooking up. So yeah, next year, 2019. Well, we've got the bushcraft show coming up, and that's obviously going to be one of the highlights of the year for me and my dad, and catch up with all my friends. And it's a great place to meet people, watch little talks, demonstrations, learn some practical skills. But on a personal level, for me next year, there's a couple of things that I'd really like to sort of get to grips with. And first one of that, I mean, it's quite apt that I'm actually up here today because it's an amazing woodland. It's just absolutely covered in silver birch, pine tree, oak, and a few other sort of tree species. And I like to come up here a lot because I can collect like my bracket fungus and things like that, silver birch, and I sort of take, because they're always taking a lot down because it grows up so quickly around here. So I come up here and I get my foraging pouch and my kindling sources topped up while I'm here. And one of the things for next year is to really sort of brush up on my tree species identification skills. And I'm quite well versed on that, but I want to learn more, to be able to recognise them in sort of like winter, spring, autumn, and summer, obviously. And I think it's really important to recognise certain tree species in winter, because I spend a lot of time out in winter. But just in general, just to have a better idea of all the different types of tree species and what their uses are, what's good to burn, what isn't good to burn, what's good for kindling, what's good for tinder, etc. And so that's one of them. The other one is foraging for food, and that is, it's not something I really do a lot of. In particular, fungi. That's something I'd really like to sort of get to grips with a bit more next year. I mean, this is a great place actually. Get loads of like bracket fungus because of all the silver birch and that. But I'd like to actually gen up and learn a bit more on the identification side for fungi and mushrooms. And obviously there's some great sources out there where you can do that, but I think the best way to do that is go on a couple of little sort of like short courses where you're walked around and shown by an expert in that field. I think that's absolutely a must for me to really sort of get to grips with that. One of my friends, Jason Calaz, Wild Nesterond, he's really good with his fungi and mushroom identification. So I think a bit more time with Jay next year, especially at certain times of the year, that could help as well. So tree identification for species, on the foraging side for like wild food, mushrooms and fungi, and that's definitely number two. And I think three, although I absolutely love my fires and I'm always up in the woods and get a fire going, I think friction by fire, bow drills, like hand drills, other ways of getting fires going, I think that's another thing to just brush up on really. It is something that I do, you know, I do like flint striking and that, but just to spend a bit more time next year doing other methods rather than just getting a fire going. You know, I'm really good with my tinder and kindling sources and getting that going, which I use and that with the old firebox stove quite a lot. But you know, I use the ferrocerium rod, which is absolutely fantastic, and I do occasionally use like the flint and striker. That's something I'm definitely going to start doing a bit more of next year. And yeah, I think more practice by friction by fire, because sometimes you might not have all the necessary bits and bobs with you, and it's just good to really practice something that goes back thousands, tens of thousands of years, you know. So I think that's the third one. So I'm a great believer in practice your craft, learn knowledge, and seek sources where you can do that. Find people that have a bit of a better idea on those things than you do, and then you can put that knowledge to use, and also with what you then learn you put on to other people and you teach them, or your mates that may not necessarily be as well versed on certain aspects that you kind of not specialize in but have a bit more of an in-depth knowledge on. So skills gathering next year, and that's 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 a real big one for me. And that's so yeah, it's just a little video on that today, what I'd actually like to achieve for 2019. So I think it's quite important to obviously enjoy what you're doing, but obviously like set little goals, have some ambitions and things like that. So yeah, three things: tree identification, fungi, mushroom identification, but also wild foraging for more food, and yeah, friction by fire. So those are three things to gen up on next year, and I'm looking forward to doing those. So yeah, that's it. Hope you guys are having a great time. Hope you're getting out and about, and I look forward to catching up with you soon. Take care. Bye.